Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's topic, if you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more insightful content like this. We really appreciate your support. Today, we're diving deep into a book that has the potential to fundamentally change how you experience your inner world. Don't Believe Everything You Think by the brilliant Joseph Nguyen. In a world that often tells us to trust our gut and follow our instincts, Nguyen offers a powerful and liberating counterpoint. Your thoughts aren't always your friends. In fact, they can often be the very source of your stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. This isn't about suppressing your thoughts or trying to achieve some state of constant mental silence. Instead, Nguyen's book is a practical guide to developing a healthy skepticism towards your own internal monologue. It's about learning to identify the patterns, understand their origins, and ultimately, choose which thoughts you give your power to. So, if you've ever felt trapped in a cycle of negative thinking, or if you're simply curious about understanding your mind better, then stick around, because this summary will give you a comprehensive overview of the key ideas in Don't Believe Everything You Think. Let's start with the core premise of the book, the illusion of thought. Nguyen argues that we often mistake our thoughts for reality. We treat them as facts, as undeniable truths about ourselves, the world, and our future. But in reality, thoughts are just mental events, fleeting electrical and chemical signals in our brain. They are interpretations, judgments, and stories that our minds create, often based on past experiences, societal conditioning, and ingrained beliefs. Think about it. Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head, analyzing every word and imagining different outcomes? Or perhaps you've jumped to conclusions about someone's intentions based on a single glance or comment. These are examples of how our thoughts can run wild, creating narratives that may have little to no basis in reality. Nguyen emphasizes that just because you think something doesn't make it true. This simple yet profound realization is the first step towards gaining control over your mental landscape. The book then delves into identifying common unhelpful thought patterns that many of us fall victim to. One of the most prevalent is overthinking. We get caught in endless loops of analysis, worrying about things we can't control, and creating problems where none exist. Imagine you send an email to a colleague and they don't reply immediately. Your mind might jump to conclusions. They must be angry at me, or I probably said something wrong. This overthinking can lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety, even if the colleague was simply in a meeting. Another common pattern is self-criticism. We often have an inner voice that constantly puts us down, highlighting our flaws and telling us we're not good enough. This internal critic can be incredibly damaging to our self-esteem and prevent us from taking risks or pursuing our goals. Think about trying something new, and that little voice whispering, "You're going to fail," or "You're not talented enough." This voice isn't necessarily reflecting reality. It's often a learned pattern from past experiences or societal pressures. Nguyen also discusses the trap of comparison. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to fall into the habit of comparing ourselves to others, often based on curated online personas. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and envy, even when we have much to be grateful for. We see someone's highlight reel on social media and think their life is perfect, forgetting that everyone faces their own challenges. Other thought patterns explored in the book include catastrophizing, imagining the worst possible outcome, fortune-telling, predicting negative future events, and mind reading, assuming we know what others are thinking. Recognizing these patterns is crucial because it allows us to step back and observe our thoughts with a degree of detachment. This brings us to the next key idea, the power of awareness. Nguyen emphasizes the importance of becoming mindful of our thoughts without judgment. This means simply observing them as they arise and pass, without getting carried away by their content. Think of your mind as a stream and your thoughts as leaves floating by. You can observe the leaves without jumping into the stream and getting swept away. This practice of mindful awareness often cultivated through techniques like meditation, allows us to create a space between our thoughts and our reactions. Instead of automatically believing and acting on every thought that pops into our head, we can pause, observe, and ask ourselves, is this thought helpful? Is it true? Is it serving me? This simple act of awareness can be incredibly liberating, as it allows us to break free from the automatic pilot of our habitual thinking. Once we become more aware of our thoughts, the next step is challenging them. Nguyen provides practical strategies for questioning the validity and helpfulness of our internal monologue. One technique is to ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this thought, and what evidence contradicts it? Often, we'll find that our thoughts are based on assumptions or limited information. Another helpful question is, what would I tell a friend who was having this same thought? We're often much kinder and more compassionate to others than we are to ourselves. By imagining a friend in the same situation, we can gain a more objective perspective on our own thoughts. Nguyen also encourages us to consider the consequences of believing a particular thought. Does it make us feel good or bad? Does it motivate us or hold us back? If a thought consistently leads to negative emotions or unhelpful behaviors, it's a strong indication that it's not serving us. The book then moves on to discussing how to create new, more helpful thought habits. This isn't about forcing positivity or denying negative emotions. Instead, it's about consciously choosing to focus on thoughts that are more aligned with our values and goals. One strategy is to reframe negative thoughts. For example, instead of thinking, I failed, you could reframe it as, I learned something new. This shift in perspective can make a big difference in how we feel and how we approach future challenges. Another technique is to actively cultivate gratitude. By regularly focusing on the things we're grateful for, we can shift our attention away from negative thoughts and cultivate a more positive outlook. Nguyen also touches upon the crucial role of emotions in our thinking. He explains that our thoughts and emotions are interconnected. Our thoughts can trigger emotions, and our emotions can influence our thoughts. By becoming more aware of this connection, we can start to understand the underlying emotional drivers of our thought patterns. For instance, if you consistently find yourself thinking negative thoughts about your abilities, it might be rooted in feelings of insecurity or fear of failure. While the book doesn't necessarily prescribe specific exercises in the traditional sense, it encourages consistent self-reflection and the application of the principles discussed. The act of regularly questioning your thoughts, practicing awareness, and consciously choosing more helpful perspectives becomes a powerful exercise in itself. Ultimately, the benefits of learning to discern our thoughts are immense. By not believing everything we think, we can reduce stress and anxiety, improve our self-esteem, build stronger relationships, and make more conscious choices in our lives. We become less reactive to our internal chatter and more present in the moment. We gain the freedom to choose our responses rather than being dictated by our automatic thought patterns. Don't believe everything you think is not a magic bullet, but it offers a powerful framework for understanding and transforming our relationship with our minds. It's a reminder that we are not our thoughts, and we have the power to choose which thoughts we give our attention and belief to. It's a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, and one that can lead to greater peace, clarity, and fulfillment. So, if any of this resonated with you, I highly recommend picking up a copy of Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. It's a relatively short read packed with profound insights and practical guidance. It's a book you'll likely revisit again and again as you continue your journey of self-awareness. That wraps up our summary of Don't Believe Everything You Think. We hope you found this helpful and insightful. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What are some of the unhelpful thought patterns you've noticed in your own life? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more book summaries and self-improvement content. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.